So, first I want to start off by saying Barakathon, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. And I want to give all the honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole flesh, starting with 144,000. So, other day, I wasn't going to get this lesson done yesterday, but me and the brothers did a sit down, very edifying sit down, and, so Lord willing, we'll get into it though. Lord willing, we still gonna get it done. We're finna get it done right now, Lord willingly, right? So as I was watching Pastor Hart lesson the other day, and as I was watching the lesson, and by the way, if you hear like outside noise, things of that nature, it's because I'm outside walking. It's late, but hey, I ain't, it's pretty outside, man. We ain't tripping, but right. So, and by the way, too, you might hear cars ride by if my voice get low, but I'm going to try to keep the mic closer to my mouth so that way, the sound don't be going in and out. But, yeah, so after watching Pastor Hart lesson, he was going into Baruch 5 chapter 5, right? And, he was talking about, it was, how he quoted, that we are children of the East, but we're on the West, right? And it was going into, a little bit how we scattered around, right? How our nation scattered around amongst the other nations. And the spirit instantly hit me like, oh yeah, that's we get that. That's a lesson right there, man. We could go in talking about the Gentiles, right? Because right, we scattered amongst all these other nations. You got Israelites who are caught up in the mindset and the custom of these other nations, right? And they don't understand that they are Israelites. But that's what those Gentiles in this book, in the Bible, that's what those Gentiles are referring to. It's referring to those. And I'm gonna bring out a few precepts. You got some precepts where it's referring to the other nations, and you got a precept where it's referring to the Israelite foreigners, right? So, first precept that came to mind, as he was going into it, right, was James 1:1, right? So I was thinking the spirit, I was meditating on it. I got some wrote down, but the ones that I was meditating on, I kind of remember them just about, because I was thinking of them as I was, watching his lesson. I was thinking like, oh yeah, like, oh, precept, this is a precept, things of that nature, right? But Lord willing, we'll get into it, bring it out, was edifying. And so we'll start right here in James 1:1, right? It says, James a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh, Shah Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting, right? So we're scattered abroad, man. We're scattered all over, man. You know what I'm saying? We scattered all over. Our people are all over the place, And with our people being all over the place, we always amongst this. We're not in our homeland, so we always amongst these other nations, these other people with different cultures, right? You know what I'm saying? And with that being, you got a lot of people who get caught up in these cultures, get caught up in these ways, and don't really understand that, that they're Hebrew Israelites. They don't know their true nationality, right? That's those Gentiles, the ones caught up in that Gentile state of mind, serving these other idols, serving these other things, right? Because you just said a servant of Yahweh, right? Right? Read it again. A servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh Shai, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. So we knowing that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that's Yahweh the Father, right? The Most High, and Yahweh Shai, which is the Son. The word isn't called Jesus Christ. They came they're here for Israel, man. They're here for Israel. Right now they're here for the elect. Right now they're here for the elect, and all Israel will be saved. But this truth in this word is for the elect, right? But it's for the elect to stir up, right? When you got this spirit, you got to stir up, and it's to bring to remembrance. That's why the spirit came upon me like, oh yeah, we're gonna get the lesson done talking about the Gentiles. Even though it's plenty lessons, the elders and apostles, and the teachers of GMS is plenty lessons on this, right? But Lord, I want to go into it today, right? So going from there, I want to go to 1 Corinthians 12:2, right? It says, ye know that you were Gentiles carried away into these dumb idols, even as ye were led, right? So you want to know what it says, right? Gentiles mean Latin word gentis, which means foreigner, foreign to our nationality, man. Our people do not know who we are, right? Our people do not know who we are. Our people are caught up in all these other ways, thinking they Jamaican, thinking they Puerto Rican, thinking that they American blacks, thinking that they all these other nations, but not knowing that we are true Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? Deuteronomy 7:6, Deuteronomy 14:2, right? You know what I'm saying? We those people set apart, a particular people, right? He been separated us, right? And and we would carry it away into these dumb idols, even as you were led, right? So then when you understand it, right, if you got to understand it, you were knowing, right, going back to history, right? So we were those slaves we was those slaves on slave ship, Deuteronomy 28:68, brought over here, right? So going to do quick precept right quick. Going to do, first I'm going to Baruch, right? Baruch 4 and verse 6, right? It says, "You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved Yahweh to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies," right? And our main enemy is Esau Edom, right? That's who was in slavery, right? So we moved him to wrath by doing what? Worshiping these other gods, worshiping these other idols, worshiping these false idols, worshiping these false gods, doing these false customs, things that are not of our nation. Moving in that foreign state of mind, right? So then going from there, another precept, Deuteronomy, right? So with us to doing all that, what did he tell us he's gonna do? He gonna hide his face from us, man. He gonna remove the remembrance from us, right? Actually, it's Deuteronomy 32, starting at 16, right? It says, "They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abomination provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to Yahweh, to gods they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that beget thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten the Most High that formed thee. And when the Lord Yahweh saw it, he abhorred them, because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters." Right? These people going off, man. People going off. They doing all these strange things, worshiping these false gods, worshiping these false idols. They going off, man. You know what I'm saying? And he says, and he said, "I will hide my face from them." Right? "I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith." Right? He said, "They move me to jealousy with that which is not Most High. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with the foolish nation." Who's that foolish nation? That's why Esau Edom running around here thinking that they the chosen one. They run around here thinking that they the jewels of Yahweh Shah, right? They thinking that they the chosen ones of God, right? What is that? Bear with me. Wisdom of Solomon 2. Right? What it says, 2:13, "He professes to have the knowledge of Yahweh. He calleth himself the child of the Lord." Right? They thinking that's them. They thinking that Most High dealing with them, but they don't understand, right? That the Most High using them on the left hand to bring that jealousy, to bring that, bring that judgment upon us. Right? He don't know that. He don't know that he doing that. Right? He don't know that that us being sent into slavery, us going through that thing. See, our people don't understand that. People don't understand that that's what he did to us, because we moved him to wrath, we moved him to jealousy, man. We serving all these false idols and all these false things, right? So he sent us into slavery, into a foolish nation, right? Because Esau Edom, they thinking that they chosen. They thinking that they doing God's work, which they are, right? Which they are, but on the left hand side, right? But that's why you got, right? Going back to Baruch, that's why he said Baruch 2:29, right? To get straight to the point. I started 29, right? Baruch 2:29, he said, "If you would not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned to a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them." Right? It's going to turn to a small number among the nations, because why? As we amongst these nations, these other people going to be, as we scattered out, you have Israelites who in that Gentile state of mind, they won't return back, right? But then you got that remnant, that number, right? That remnant, that number, right? Quick precept. Isaiah 20. Oh, wait, bear with me. Man. That might be Isaiah 10 and 20. Yeah. Isaiah 10 and 22, right, says, "For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed to overflow of righteousness," right? So that remnant gonna return, right? So once we scattered out, and I'm gonna keep reading on real fast, go back to Baruch 2, right? Read 29 again, right? It said Baruch 2:29, "If you will not hear my voice, surely this this very great multitude shall be turned to a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captives, they shall remember themselves, right? So as we in the land of our captives, we being brought back into our remembrance, being brought back into our nationality, man, and we're being brought back into our memory, brought back into our nationality, brought back into our ways, our customs, the things that we know, the things of our nation. We getting brought out of that darkness, man. He been the light. That's why Isaiah 42, right? Right, and I got that. I really got it in my notes, but I go ahead and break it out. I actually watched a breakdown on this earlier, Isaiah 42, right? That's why it says, right? I started at verse 1, then I jumped down to verse 6, right? And it says, behold my servant, whom uphold mine elect, right? It's talking about Yahushua, right? It says, behold my servant, whom I uphold mine elect, and whom my soul delighteth. I put my spirit upon him, he shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles, right? He ain't brought forth that judgment yet, but, when he came the first time, Yahushua came to, bring the word, bring the light, bring it, because, we were all in that Gentile state of mind at one point, man. We were all lost, right? Until Yahushua came and brought us that 100% truth that brought us out of darkness, brought us that light, man. You know what I'm saying? So as he bring us that light, you know what I'm saying, we return back, you know what I'm saying? And we return, then our people go off, whatever, we go into slavery, and now that comfort is upon us to be remembered, that spirit of Yahushua is bringing. But during this time right here, right, this is prophecy, right, that it was fulfilled, it was fulfilled. But at this time, Yahushua came, he brought the 100% truth, which he left unto the apostles, we learned some disciples later turned into the apostles, right? Then you got the prophets, things of that nature. Why he said in Proverbs 1:23, right? He said, turn ye my reproof. Roughly paraphrase, I'll make my words known unto you. How? Because he'll put the spirit on the prophets to prophesy, and, and to preach the word and to stir up. And then you got the elect, the teachers of this truth, who was able to understand these things, who were able to return out that Gentile state of mind and teach this truth, right? But this is talking about Yahushua, man. You got it right here in my notes. Gentiles is those Israelite foreigners, but it's dealing with one person. It's talking about an individual. The Most High speaking on Yahushua, right? The Most High put the spirit upon Yahushua to bring forth the true message to the Israelites, right? So, and by the way, Elder Pastor Ramla, I don't want to say it's new, but one of the brothers listened to me earlier before I did this lesson. That's why it took me so long. I was watching his breakdown on Isaiah 42, but it's a powerful breakdown. You should go watch it. I really just put the video link in my description as well on this video, but yeah, you should watch it. It's a powerful, edifying lesson. But jumping down to Isaiah 42 and verse 6, right? He says, I the Lord have called thee in righteousness, right? Because he called Yahushua in righteousness. He gave Yahushua all the tools in righteousness, man, to bring us the righteous things, right? He said, will I hold thine hand and will keep thee and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, right? Because he was that ultimate sacrifice for us. That was his purpose. He came down here to bring the message, to bring the truth, bring the 100% truth, and be an ultimate sacrifice to our people, to bring us, back into that favor of Yahushua, right? And then that, as you see, he said, for a light of the Gentiles. And Gentiles is who? The Israelites in that foreign state of mind, right? But as we read, it's gonna be a lot of people who return out that Gentile state of mind, but it's gonna be a lot more who don't, right? Because that goes into that, Isaiah 10 and 22, right? Because that remnant, that elect, they the ones who gonna understand and be able to take heed of these things and hear you outside. But the other ones, they're gonna be in that, oh nah, we African American, they don't have that patriotism on them, man. They lost, man. They caught up, right? But I'll bring notes on it, right? Yahweh gave Yahushua everything in righteousness, man. And with him doing that, Yahushua came down here, and that's why he said, what is that? I think I got it right. I got it in one of my notes. I want to say is John 4. Looks like, bro, with me. I got it a precept. Cause that's why he said, man, his whole duty is to come out here and do the will of Yahweh, man. I was just watching this breakdown, so I got so many notes on it. I really remember the precept, John chapter 4. John 4:34. It says, Yahweh said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work, right? So he came to be that ultimate sacrifice to bring the light, to bring us out of that darkness, man. Because like I said, we was all one point in that Gentile state of mind, but we returned back. Now we got the understanding, the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Now we got understanding the truth, the knowledge, right? And that's also a precept talking about that in Isaiah. And I actually read it real fast. I just keep harkening on it, prove all things, right? Where is it at? Right here, Isaiah 42 and verse 19, right? It says, who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my message that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant, right? It's talking about the prophets, right? Because once again, like I say, man, talking about the prophets, the elect. They were all blind at one point, right? You have Israelites who were blind at one point, but Yahweh Shah caused us to understand, man. He caused the not when Yahweh brought that light upon us, he allowed us to move out of darkness. Now we know where we're going. Now we got the understanding and the truth to separate the unclean from the clean, man. We got the truth to move in righteousness, right? But get back to it, right? So when Yahweh brought that light unto us, now we brought back to remember, now we know who we are, right? But you still got these Israelites who are amongst these Gentiles, right? That you still got the Israelites who are amongst these Gentiles, who is amongst these other nations who's in that Gentile state of mind, right? Because if you understand, it's simple, right? You know what I'm saying? The Gentiles represent other nations, right? But it refers to those Israelites, but it also refers to those Israelites a lot of times too. And I'll bring a precept out that show that, right? John 7:35, right? It's simple, man. It's kind of it's I ain't gonna say it's kind of simple. It's simple, man. If you can get it, you can get it. If you don't, yeah, you just not. The truth is not meant for you. And in these last days, you start to see more and more of that, man. This truth just not be meant to people. I remember not to harken too much ago, but I remember when we first came in the truth, man. And we wasn't even like we wasn't even on GMS yet. I remember when we first came in the truth, bro. We used to try to teach it to everybody we bumped into, right? I used to try to put everybody on. You know what I'm saying? Like, soon we sit down, we talking, hey, bro, who? And then you slowly start, now I'm debating with them. Like, you notice how you'll be in so many debates. I used to be at school debating, you know what I'm saying? And you slowly realize, like, as you grow more and more in this truth, and I come on the GMS to 100% truth, Pastor Hart and Pastor Gabardi, they always say, the elders, they always say, man, we not debate with you on this truth, man. You either get it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? If you got an ear, let them hear. But at the same time, man, we ain't trying to out here entice you, man. Romans, quick another precept, right? Made me think of it while I'm talking about it. Romans 14:5, right? One man esteemed one day above another esteemed every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. I mean, I can tell you the truth. I can teach it, but I'm not gonna force it on you. You either get it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? You either understand it spiritually or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Because the ones who got the spirit of Yahweh Shah, if you of that calling, you gonna understand these things, right? But going back to John 7:35, right? And it says, then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go into despair among the Gentiles? So that first Gentile is referring to who? He's referring to the nation. Will he go amongst the other nations and teach the Gentiles, who those Israelites who amongst those other nations who's lost, who's caught up in those ways? You know what I'm saying? Because I got a good right here in my notes on this one too, right? Or the first Gentiles you see talking about, is those other nations. But the second Gentiles you see is talking about the Israelites. Through the Spirit, we know that when Yahweh referred to the Gentiles as being Israel, he's talking about how they was in a Gentile state of mind, following these other nations. They're thinking they Greeks, Romans, something like that, or something in that nature, right? But it says just like today, Jake think they African Americans. These people don't know they Israelites, man. Because you know what I'm saying. And we understand, you understand, right? That you gotta. It's a spiritual thing. That's why it's a spiritual thing. Because fleshly, right? It's fleshly, right? We know spiritually that we're Israelites, but fleshly, we don't write down Hebrew Israelite on the paper and they ask you for your nationality, right? Because we not in our kingdom, right? Oh, why y'all don't? I remember how one person used to always say, my trainer, right? And I always talk about him because I used to debate it with him a lot all the time, man. We'll leave from training, from practice, things of that nature. I used to debate it with him all the time. Where if something come up, they'll be saying something. They'll be like, just say they just try to they'll be mocking. I ain't gonna lie. When I look at it now, I was younger, but now I look at it now, they used to be mocking, man. They finna eat something. Oh, make sure they don't got pork in it, bro. Don't eat pork. They used to always mock things of that nature. But he's why you don't write down Gentile, why you don't write down Israelite on your paper, man? Why you don't write down sovereign citizenship, man? Things of that nature. I used to tell them, like, man, we're in America, man. We're not in our kingdom, right? So in this kingdom, right, even with Paul, right? It's quick thought, man. Even with Paul, right? Acts 22 and 25, right? As Paul said, what Paul said, he said, as they bound him with thongs, right? As they locking him up, right? He said, Paul said to the centurion, like that's like a Roman, switch it over real fast. It's like a Roman like guard or whatever. Man, I hate when that thing do all that. Right, it's like for that, but a Roman military officer, you know what I'm saying, like guard or whatever, right? So going back to it, right? It said the centurion that stood by, and this is Paul asked, right? He said, "Is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is Roman and uncondemned?" Right? So he asked, like, is it wrong for you to I'm a Roman citizen. I ain't done nothing wrong. Is it wrong for you to do anything to me? Is it wrong for you to lock me up? Is it wrong for you to beat me? But Paul knew he was an Israelite, right? Did he not? Did he not say it? Romans 11, right? What he said? I say then, hath Yahweh cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I am also an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin, man. So Paul also knew he was an Israelite, but we knowing spiritually, right? Because we've been amongst these other nations for so long. We've been amongst our captive, been amongst our enemies for so long, man. And you got a lot of people like goes into, right? The Greek Hellenists, right? Matter of fact, I got that in my notes too as well, right? You got the Hellenism, right? Some matter of fact, there's some more precepts, right? There's some more precepts that I'll bring out as well. I just seen that, the water y'all about to shot, right? But let me go to it real fast. The Hellenists, right? About the year 200 BCE, there arose among the Jewish population a group called Mizraim, meaning Hellenists who adopted Greek culture as a way of life, right? To such degree that almost invariably they gave up their culture and identity. That's why, right? It's what it says. There's no difference between the Jew and the Greek, man, right? Let me see. I got these precepts right here, right? That's a good one, but I ain't want to get that one. Let me see. Colossians 1:26, right? But that right there, 1 Corinthians 2:7, right? Because we do speak this word in the mystery, man. A lot of people ain't gonna understand. A lot of people ain't gonna get it because you ain't got that spirit on you. You ain't got that spirit to understand it, right? I think this is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Once again, showing, right? Even the mystery has been hidden from ages and from generations, but now it's made manifest to his saints. Who is his saints? Psalms 148, man. Who is his saints? The saints are Israelites. So the mystery, that things that we miss, the things that the things that, that people don't understand, but he is made, like it says, is made manifest. We able to understand it, we able to receive it now, because why? Well, when Yahweh brought us that light, now he got that comfort upon us, that spirit of Yahweh to understand these things, man, right? I want to go this because make sure I ain't quoting wrong. I ain't want to quote nothing wrong, but just gonna go look at it just to make sure I ain't quoting wrong. Right now, I'm sure it's Psalm 148, 148:14, right? We are those Israelites, are those saints, man. So, but we'll get back to it, right? Get back to the precepts as well. You got those. Oh yeah, it's like the point came back to me, right? That's why I said it ain't no different from the Jew or Greek. That's why it says that, man. It ain't no difference between the Jew or the Greek. Cause why? Right here, Romans 10:12, right? He said, "For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him." Because once again, you got those Hellenists, those Hellenists, man. It was those Greek, but they amongst the Greek culture so much that they down there gave up their identity. They in that Gentile state of mind, right? That's why it said John 7:35. Is he finna go amongst the Gentiles, these other nations, to teach the Gentiles, those Israelites, and those foreign state of mind? And that's what Yahweh shall do. But that's why today this word is preached unto all nations. That's why we preach it all over. That's why we on the highways and byways. That's why we on the internet. That's why we posting these videos so that the people can understand, the people can get this, man. Because our people are all over, man. Nations like it to a speckled bird, man. You know what I'm saying? You never know, man. But a couple more precepts. Um, let me see. Right? October, I want to get October 13. I'm just get straight to the point. October 13:3, right? It says, confess before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he has scattered us among them, right? Dare declare his greatness and extol him before all the living, for he is our Lord and he is our power, our Father forever, right? It says, and he will scourge us for our iniquities and have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations among whom he has scattered us, right? But verse 3, right, says, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, but he has scattered us among them, right? Confess it for these other nations, because why? You got a lot of Israelites who was in that Gentile state of mind. You got a lot of Israelites who are, we amongst all these other nations, right? So we go now, we preach this word amongst all people, amongst all nations, man. Because, so you might be preaching it, right? And it might be a Jake who like Edomite, like he an Edomite, he might come out. Oh, he might understand it. Oh, I understand the truth. Ooh, that they know his father is Israel. You know what I'm saying? You never know, man. You never know what it is. What? Then again, right? Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he has scattered us among them. So you gotta understand, we were scattered amongst all people, man. And our people was getting caught up in those ways, caught up in those, as we read, the Hellenists, right? You got people who caught up in that Greek culture, man. Timothy father, he was caught up in that Greek culture, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, other than that, we'll hit Romans. I ain't want to make it too long, but Romans 2:14. Let's see what it say. Okay, right? This is what I want to bring out. Romans 2:14 said, for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, the Gentiles referring to who? Israelites who was in that foreign state of mind, right? It says, and Tobit, right? And when it says preach amongst the Gentiles, it means preach amongst the other nations, Israel, because you are scattered among them, right? But this Gentiles right here is referring to who? Referring to the Israelites who was in that Gentile state of mind, right? It said, for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law, but law to themselves. Meaning why? Because they physically they don't know they Israelites, but it's in their hearts. Y'all watching outside just got that on them to where they won't do certain things, man. They just don't got the law fully. They don't got the real understanding at the moment, but it's just on them not to do certain things, because that's who we are. That's our real nationality. That's who we are as a people, man. You know how you remember, like, boy, I ain't giving that ain't what we do. Because why? Because they it's for them to it's a way for them to understand, like, hey, I wouldn't do that. I don't move like that, right? Because like I got it right here in my notes, what it says, the law is basically on their hearts, man. They didn't solely have the law, but they went across the line on certain things, man, because it's a part of them they know, you know what I'm saying? It's part of them that know that, but that ain't me. That ain't what I do. But they don't understand it fully of why they don't though. You know what I'm saying? But that goes into being the proper God, man. They don't understand the lie, so they can't get the truth, man. But right? And one more quick piece. I think I was at Romans 3:28, right? It says, right? We end with this right here, right? It says Romans 3:28, right? It says, therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law, right? Because also knowing, Yahweh being also sacrificed for us, we not judged by the law, just by that faith and grace, man. Don't mean that we don't just have to do what we want. We strive to the law the best of our ability, but we in this sinful flesh. So therefore, you can't be perfect under the law, because the law is perfect. You know what I'm saying? But it's for us to separate things, and we strive to the best of our abilities, man. Right? It says, is he the power of the Jews only? Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also. What is Gentiles referring to in this precept? Referring to the Israelites who was in that Gentile state of mind, man. What he said in Tobit 13:3. I'm gonna go back to it after this, right? I said, matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to it right now. Really? Where is that? This should be down here because it's in the Apocrypha. Tobit 13:3, right? What it says, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he has scattered us among them. But confess us amongst the other nations. Why? Confess him before the nations. Why? Because we are scattered amongst the other nations, right? But going back to Romans, right? And the Gentiles right here is referring to who? The Israelites who was in the mindset of these other nations, was in that foreign state of mind, man, right? So is he power of the Jews only? Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also, seeing that it is one power which shall justify the circumcision by faith, right? And that circumcision is moving righteous, uh, right quick, right here, it's right here. So for circumcision, 2 and 25, get straight to the point. For circumcision verily profiteth if thou keep the law, but if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. So circumcision is basically, moving in righteousness, right? Circumcision when you move in righteousness, circumcision when you live in the world, you're doing the things of the world. You just have to live freely, thinking that you can just do what you want, right? But keep reading on, he says, seeing it is one power which shall justify the circumcision by faith and uncircumcision through faith. Do we then make void the law through faith? Yahweh forbid. Yeah, we establish the law. We will establish the law. We strive. We do the thing because it's things that we can't control, right? You should not eat anything that dies of itself. We don't know that. We don't know that these people. We don't know if these animals, things, any market things dying of themselves. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But we strive the law to the best of our abilities, man. And we understanding that we're saved by the faith and grace. Yahweh Shai, man, understand that ultimate sacrifice brought us back into the favor, man. But man, those Gentiles or those Israelites who was in that foreign state of mind, man. But so, hope the lesson was edifying, And with that being said, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the Hopeful Let's Start with 144,000. Shalom.